And welcome back, everybody. It is time for game number 2 here in the final match. Terror is up 1-0 and hence one game away from the round of 8. Rams will have to make a comeback here if he wants to advance.
Yeah, but this could be the place to do it. Andromeda is statistically a fairly Protoss favored map, hovering around about 60%, although those statistics are from, Pro League, so maybe not entirely relevant, but even still, it does suggest some kind of slight edge towards our Protoss player, so it's not all doom and gloom for Rams. As long as he doesn't do anything ridiculous like last game, then he might just be in with a shot.
Yeah, I mean, two major characteristics of the map stand out to me. So obviously, big wide open center, generally good for PvT, not much terrain for the Terran to use to push out with. So especially if you're in cross map positions, it's like impossible for Terran to actually push your main.
Yeah.
But also, you can actually quite comfortably 12 next on this map to the point where it's almost like a standard PvT opener.
Huh.
Because if you 12 next to the mineral only inside your base, you can still have the ramp advantage and everything.
Yeah.
So Protoss will 12 next a lot, and that actually really came into play in TSL2 in the Noni versus Idra match, which is very interesting, where Nuni actually went for the 12 next. I mean, everyone knew he was going to 12 next. Idra knew he was going to 12 next. He did it anyway, and Idra specifically prepared a FD Vulture drop build to snipe it, and won on a map that Nuni should have won on. So it was really interesting at the time when that happened, and I don't know if we're going to see anything like that here. But, I mean, Rams is pretty old school, so you could definitely go for 12 next here.
Yeah, it really, really could happen. But yeah, I'm just about ready to find out. Should we go into the game?
Let's do it.
That's it.
Here we go into game number 2 at the bottom left as the teal Protoss. We have Rams at the bottom right as the yellow Terran. We have Terror.
Yep, here we are. It could possibly end right here. And excitingly enough, we could have Terran player going through into the next stage. Rams is all that stands between him and that in one game, of course, since Terror is 1-0 up. And I'll be actually fairly exciting to have another Terran player go through. It's going to be curious, but after last game, I just really wasn't convinced by Rams' Protoss play. It seemed like he had one sort of idea, but he wasn't quite familiar with the intricacies of how to sort of make it work from a behind position.
Yeah, that's true. And I would expect that, like on Fish, there should be enough Terrans that he can get some practice. Like if he had only been practicing on Icy Cup, I would probably chalk that up to there just not being enough high-level Terrans to play against. But really, if he's only practicing on Fish, then that shouldn't be an issue. In the meantime, looks like we have a bit of a wall in here from our Terran player. That's actually not something you see very often anymore in TVP, walling in. It's not really necessary, to be honest. Even if you get Zealot harassed, nowadays just SimCitying by your command center and doing some good micro should be enough. So curious what he's going for here.
Yeah, we've seen Zealot harass go very, very nicely so far once today, though, from a player whose name I do not wish to speak right now because I'm so enraged by his further actions. But we've already seen that Zealot harass can be really, really nice, but it's it's a huge map, so I wouldn't expect we're going to be seeing anything of the kind here.
Do we now have a He Who Shall Not Be Named to the foreigner scene as well?
We do at the moment. I'm not sure if I'm going to stay true to that, but it hurts even more because I was a fan, man. I was a fan.
Elegant was betrayed.
I feel very betrayed. I feel very betrayed. It really, really hits me where it hurts. Yeah, right, but
you'll need to find like a new person to cheer for. Who are you going to cheer for actually?
I'm just thinking that. I think he's going to be Busy.
It's gotta be
Busy. I think Busy's awesome.
It's gotta be Busy.
He is such a cool player. And Zeke would be the obvious choice to cheer for if you just wanted a favorite. But I want, I want to root for somebody else right here. So Busy, I think he's got the quality to actually really do it. And he's such a fun player to watch, man, seriously.
Indeed he is. By the way, this, oh never mind, there's a second pylon there. I was going to say, without that second pylon, I was slightly concerned units might become trapped there. Normally they wouldn't, but if he'd inadvertently had something like a unit sitting under the gateway, something might spawn on the inside. It looks like he fixed that. I don't know why, I'm actually not a fan of having both your pylons next to each other, your first two pylons, because it doesn't allow you to, you know, potentially hide tech or get good pylon coverage in the beginning. I don't see any reason to do this.
Yeah, it is a little bit strange, isn't it? Because that could actually sort of backfire as the game goes on, because if you don't have good pylon spread, then it can be difficult to place buildings, and it can waste time, and it can waste multitasking. It can be a little bit of a pain. So I'm not too sure that I'm exactly keen on that. But you know, whatever works. It's probably not good to dwell on it too much.
What's this probe doing?
But we have, a little bit of sneaky probe action, and he's gonna proxy something once again.
I think it's a fake again.
You reckon? I don't know, because look how he's blocking his ramp.
Yeah.
Oh, but the Marine, that's got to have seen the probe coming from the right rather than straight down.
Oh man,
yeah,
you're right. Oh god, Terror on the ball today with the scouting. He
doesn't want to get cheesed. You can't cheese a Peruvian, can you? Let's be honest.
Yeah, he's seen it all before, man.
Yeah.
His teammates have done it to him plenty of times.
Yeah.
You know, it's like being a Protoss player on the same team as Shine. It's like you probably know what to do against the Hydra Bust.
Yeah. There's always the chance that you might just go on autopilot and make 4 cannons when you didn't need them against somebody else. But yeah.
Well, it's like how Terror went like bunker before command center against Dion Zerg, even though it was not necessary.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Terra, though, he's calling builds really nicely today. I like how he's doing it. He doesn't want to take any chances, and he's covering all his bases. I think it's pretty cool. And it looks like Ram's not going to try and do anything with that pylon at all. If anything, though, that pylon might cause Terra to play a little bit more safely than he otherwise would, but he doesn't seem like he's going to go for any kind of crazy overreaction. He's just going to do the slightly old school siege expand right here.
Ew, I hate siege expands. I say it every time I see it. I mean, there's a reason people FD now instead of siege expanding. I don't know, maybe on Andromeda it might be okay. I'm not really sure. But generally I just dislike it. I mean, there are very few advantages to siege expanding, I think, compared to doing an FD, a well-executed FD. And the FD just gives you so much more flexibility, allowing you to pressure the Protoss, whereas the siege expand is just completely defensive. You're never ever going to attack with this. So,
yeah, not a chance.
So I'm just not convinced that in the modern day and age you should be doing something like this, but we do see it from time to time.
Yeah, we do. There was a player who does it like more often than everybody else. I can't bring to mind who exactly it is. Who was in the earlier stages of this tournament. Can't remember quite who. Never mind. But it's not the first time we've seen it in this tournament. But yeah, as you say, it is pretty rarefied these days. Whereas once it was absolute staple, wasn't it, of TVP?
Yep.
Every game, siege expand, siege expand, siege expand. But you know, it's really kind of developed since then. Interestingly, no kind of beginnings of a pylon wall at the front of Ram's base, which is, you know, slightly curious as Vulture Harass kind of starts to come into that area of the game. We have Vulture Speed on the way up now, and Vulture production really starting to happen, but not too much of a big deal. I hear a Dragoon shooting somewhere. Oh, he's killing the generators.
It's killing the back thing. So for anyone who's unfamiliar with the map, there is this little walled off area, a high ground area next to the natural. So by killing this off, you make sure that if you get siege tank dropped up here, you have ground access. Otherwise, you wouldn't have access, and it'd be a real pain in the butt. And especially since they're horizontal positions, it's a real danger to get dropped there. So I do like that he's taking care of that early on.
Yeah, I like that too. And this is interesting pylon positioning at the front door. Do you understand it? I don't quite understand it.
It is walling himself in though. I'm pretty sure that's all tight.
Really?
Yep. It doesn't look tight, and it can be spider mine jumped, but it's tight.
Oh well, it's all good. So yeah, he's being fairly smart against any potential dropship harass, because dropship harass can be so annoying when his generators are there. But here we have a little bit of a vulture run by. He's going to be able to get up the ramp. There's no way that one single probe is going to be able to do much about that. And this is horrible. We have one Dragoon popping out of the gateway, but that's not going to be enough. Do these vultures have any mines? They do have mines still left. They could get a surround on the Dragoon, or even better, just cover their way into the main mineral line. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Rams, this is a calamitous mid-game error.
Yeah, you should lay a couple more mines here, but This is... Oh, man, he can actually shoot the natural from the back on the high ground as well. Oh, God, I forgot about that. Oh, man, he's not doing it, though. Come on, go kill the probes. Kill the probes. Kill him.
Yeah.
Kill him.
He hasn't got the best position right here. Oh, he can still go from that part of the high ground as well. That's so annoying. Rams is having to bash through all the Spider-Mans before he can do anything. But Terra, yeah, he's gonna run away. That Vulture is not coming to everything.
And there's a push at the same time while the Dragoons are distracted.
Oh no, that's why he's running around. I couldn't quite figure out why the Vultures were going so far out of the way. They've managed to do good damage actually. 3 kills, 4 kills, and I didn't catch one that just died. But here comes the push from Terra, and Ram's definitely not going to be able to deal with this with the few Dragoons he has at the front. Once those siege tanks are sieged up, they're going to be really, really hard to clear out for poor old Rams. And Terra is really pushing forward for this one. Not nearly so conservative as last game. He's breaking out the action-packed style here.
Really, really nice move here, distracting all the army, forcing him back, not allowing the goons to be out on the map, and then going for the really big push. I mean, notice he walked almost all the way to the natural. He sieged up here, like way more than halfway point between the bases. The whole a key part of the Protoss defense against these kind of early attacks is to delay the push as much as possible, force him to siege early. And oh my god, he's doing a suicide goon to try and break the minefield, and here we go, he's doing another leading goon, but oh man, takes some damage on the second goon in the back. He's running through his wall, is hurting him actually. It's walling in his own Dragoons, and oh my god, he's losing a lot of goons, but it looks like he might be able to break through here. I think he's gonna clean up the attack at a heavy cost to his own forces.
Oh, another mine going down, manages to land on one Dragoon. This might actually not quite work for Rams. Terra still has one siege tank. Is this siege out? He's going to survive, and the shuttle takes some unnecessary missile turret hits there as well. And he's kind of mining up at the back of this one siege tank that's back there, but that's not going to last too long. It looks like he's actually going to keep pushing forward, even though there's a shuttle out right now. I think he probably has lost his impetus, but Zealot Bomb going to go straight down on that tank. Going to be able to use the mine damage to take it out instantly, and there's no way Terra's going to be able to make this work. He needs to pull back.
Yeah, really nicely done there for Rams to actually take that. I mean, he did lose quite a bit, but still, at least he's not dead. But oh man, you gotta be careful. These Zealots are taking a lot of mine shots as well, but he is gonna clean up that tank again. And the thing is, though, Terror has actually taken his third command center behind this, so he's doing absolutely fine on the economy front as well. Gonna start adding the additional factories as well while these mines get cleaned up. I mean, you know, the attack did a good amount of damage. It took out a whole bunch of Dragoons. Was actually fairly cost effective as far as they go, and looks like the supply counts are also even. So I think Terra is still in a pretty good spot right now, even though he's been pushed back for now.
Yeah, I think he's still doing all right. It's been a little bit of fighting on the back foot from Rams so far. That was a really, really nice attempt there from Terra. It was slightly unconventional kind of timing, but he did the Vulture run by. It seemed more opportunistic than anything to get the Vultures in, and then the Vultures just kept going. He was able to just draw the main Protoss army away and get in there, get into a sweet position up at the front. And though he did lose it, he was able to kill a fair number of goons. But it didn't seem so premeditated. It's more just an opportunity to seize on, which of course is absolutely fine as well in itself.
Looks like Mimo Arbiter tech is almost finished now for Rams. That's what his name is. By the way, we only have one guy on gas with an Afro here for Terror. That cannot be intentional, can it? Because he's got 8 trillion SCVs on the nose. Okay, no, there we go. There he goes and fixes it. You know, getting the army now. One thing that, of course, that attack did cost Terror is that his tech is not very quick here. So compared to the previous games where he got his armies very quickly, this army is still not done. He's going up to a ton of factories, though. Now, this third base doesn't quite count as a full base. It's only 5 mineral patches. So he's going to be pumping out quite a few extra Vultures, but yeah, still going up to 9 factory production.
Well, you can produce Vultures pretty fast, even though it's not that rich of a mineral only. You can still get a nice extra boost in Vulture production. And mass Vultures are pretty horrible. Ooh, the shuttle getting a little bit ahead of itself there. Terra should be in an absolutely fine position right here. I wouldn't imagine that shuttle is going to be able to get too far. Although that defensive position isn't superb. And here comes the shuttle. Looks like you're going to try some shenanigans, maybe using it for scouting. I'm not quite sure what the deal is here.
I like shuttle shenanigans. That's awesome. Oh, that wasn't a very good one though. Oh, is he gonna bomb the SCVs?
Looks like he is, but that's not really going to come to anything. He might just kind of lose the shuttle unceremoniously here in the main base. Yeah, he's gonna lose the shuttle. That's unnecessary and bad. Not quite sure why he was thinking that was a good idea. This harass was never going to come to anything. Terra is pumping out. Look at that round of Vultures. That is just insane. Like, they can start to overwhelm goons at that point. They get so many, it gets ridiculous. And presumably he's going to start getting out there and laying plenty of mines around the map as well. And as we've already seen last game, Rams can be a little bit susceptible to that.
Indeed he can. You know, you'd think that considering he's a Terran player himself, he'd know the effectiveness of mines and he'd be a little bit more careful, but I guess not. Anyway, he's actually getting a second Stargate for Arbiters here, which is curious considering he's still only on 2 gas. I don't know why he thinks he can afford that and why he's running goons into mines again. Just as you were saying it, Elegant, he lost another goon to these random mines at the 9 o'clock, but there we go. Gonna clean those out, get that base. He really needs that ASAP, especially that gas if he wants to do 2 Stargate Arbiter production as well as have enough goons coming out of his gateways. I mean, going Zealot heavy is not terrible, but you have to be quite careful because Zealots, you know, they take so much damage from mines and even from Siege Splash, again, because they clump quite heavily.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. You feel like the Zealots just kind of can run in the front, like they can tank a whole lot of damage, but far too often we see players not really spreading their Zealots properly. They all go in clumps. They eat a couple of mines, take a couple of tank hits, and all of a sudden, before you know it, you've got nothing left for your Dragoons to hide behind, and it gets pretty ugly pretty quickly. Ram's now taking, he's got that 3rd base on the way up, finally going to have some gas behind him. His tech is very well along. He's got his first arbiter he's got his first arbiter already out. He must already have stasis, because there is no good reason why he would be researching recall first.
Yeah, I think I saw stasis in the Tribunal before, so I guess it must be finished.
I find it strange how there's only 1 armory for Terror as well at this point.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know, I guess since he didn't open with the fast 2 armory style, he didn't bother with it, but it seems a bit dubious, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
But you know what? At least he didn't get 2 armories and not upgrade like a certain other player. Rams.
That is absolutely true.
So, yeah, it looks like, well, Protoss getting close to max. Look, he's going to poke out a little bit. He's got his first Arbiter floating around. It's like walled in this 9 o'clock base. Going to start mining up there. He's even expanded to the top left main as well. Now, this is going to be interesting. So here we go. Big wide open middle area, basically no terrain, just a little bit of funky weird thingies here in the middle, but doesn't really give much cover. So the Terran's got to be really careful. And look at this, there's an obs over everything. So so Rams knows exactly what the composition, what the position is of the army, whether it's siege or not, where the mines are.
Yep.
So here we go. Oh my god, he's running into the Arbiter. What is he doing?
Good.
Do something, stasis, anything, man, please.
Stasis.
All right,
Nice
decent stasis.
stasis.
He stasis the obs though. And he lost his other obs. But it looks like it's going to be a decent position. Not enough ultra coverage, not enough mines. But actually, wait a minute. The Zealots are evaporating. Oh my god. What?
How did that even happen? An unupgraded Terran army versus a 100 process army just kind of bashed through right there. But the sheer number of vultures, I think, really bailed Terra out of a tough position right there. And the vultures, you know, they're super good against Zealots. They can just melt them. It's like Archons. It's just ridiculous. You do not want Zealots going in against such a high number of vultures unless you can really overwhelm. And now Terra is able to really push forward, and he's going to be able to cut the cross player Rams off from his 3rd base as well, and maybe with a small task force take that out. Although fortunately for Rams, that counter Dragoon still ropes free.
Yeah, it looks like these goons are just going to go do some counterattacking, but they're going to run into a minefield with no obs. So, oh no, they have an obs, but it's running ahead because it's got speed. So they're probably all going to die anyway. Meanwhile, the natural is dying. Let's see how many of these goons die. Oh no, it looks like he actually kept them all together here at the end. Alright, so that's pretty good. And by good, I mean he's dead, but you know.
Yeah, he's absolutely dead. Terra is just bashing forwards right here. A little bit of a counterattack going in around the back for Ram. We're going to see if he can do some damage. Might actually be able to take out the CC over on the left-hand side. Wouldn't imagine he's going to be able to do too much more than that, and he probably won't be able to hold the top of his
head. He's not going to kill it.
2 arbiters, 1 with stasis, and yeah, this funny little bit of a attack around the back. Could do okay. Taking out some vultures. He does not need to engage these tanks, though. He needs to not engage those tanks. That could be really bad. No way that he's intending to do that, and yeah, back goes. He's got basically 1 attempt at breaking out of his natural here, and he needs to do it quickly. Gonna do some Mind Dragon action with the cloaks from the Arbiter. He might just be able to get out here if he acts really quickly.
Yeah, but even if he does, I mean, what does he even have? You know, he's lost his natural. You know, he's way behind in supply. That goon force has been cleaned up there. They really should have just killed the command center. I don't know why they didn't. But here we go, breakout. Nope, no breakout. Just kidding.
No, he's not thinking of it.
Stasis and then breakout. All right, stasis and then breakout. I don't know why he wouldn't get the back tanks instead of the front tanks, but
yeah,
there we go.
Unless that stasis was disappointingly.
Why is Terra banking 3K minerals?
I have no idea. Maybe he just thinks he's kind of won. That stasis is disappointing me because the fact that he's not going and the fact that it's not the back tanks means that he was just pissed off with the tanks shooting at him. So just sort of stasis the front tanks, which were shooting at him. He didn't have
hey man, if these tanks were shooting at me, I'd be pissed off too, so.
But you killed him.
Oh, he recalled to the back!
And he got some units up on the high ground. So Mizel has up on the high ground. Not a bad recall though, and he's going to be able to get out there and clean up the Terran attacking force. But he has, of course, lost his third base. I think all the probes there died to the vultures now. Yeah, they did. All those vultures with many, many kills. But he has managed to bust out with a decent force. He might just have some leverage to get out there and roam around the map, possibly do some good damage to Terra. He needs to pick up his macro a little bit. But with that, he should be easily able to close out the game, even still.
Where's he transferring these probes to? Is he going to the top
nowhere.
left? No, he's going back. Because the top left has been spotted. You can see it's about to die here. And the 9 o'clock's going to die too. So he's just going to have his rebuilt natural that's not done yet. And wait a minute, that means he's actually not mining right now. Oh my god, he's stuck at 202 minerals. He's got no income. Oh no, wait. Oh no, he's got his mineral only. But that's basically depleted. And that's his only mining. That seems bad. Is that bad?
That's terrible. Yeah, okay. That's awful. Yeah, dreadful position to be in. So Ram's going to have to try and get up there and save the top left-hand corner. Terra sieging in a slightly suboptimal position and almost losing a siege tank to a cannon, but that's not particularly important because he's probably not going to be able to kill the Nexus, actually. Why would you status those tanks?
Yeah.
Why?
He wasn't sure if you could do it or if he would lose the Nexus, but he wasn't.
Would.
Nope.
And now he's just got to hang around and wait for those tanks to come around our stasis. That's a really, really poor move.
Yep.
From Rams, because he needs his army elsewhere, because Terra's going to get back into a good position. He's flooding out with more vultures and he's got more siege tanks ready and waiting to come into the fray. He's just having to look at that. He's just having to hang out. He could just leave dragoons and run away. Just leave 2 dragoons in the middle of the siege tanks and dash for it.
Yeah. Oh god, the probe's transferring through!
Oh no! They didn't even last 2 seconds. Those vultures. That is so many vultures. That's ridiculous.
That is mini vulture.
And he's going to just go into the natural with these vultures. There's a dragoon and 2 zealots ready and waiting for him. Under cover and arbiter. GG!
Terror 2-0's Rams and will advance from the group.
Wow, looking good early on in the day. In his first game against Eonzerg, he had us won over. I mean, I was ready to sing his praises, but his Protoss is really not up to scratch, is it?
Seems not. I mean, Terra did have some pretty solid TVP there, to be fair. But, I mean, you know, I kind of knew that, or, I mean, Rams' Protoss that we've seen in the past, like in qualifiers and stuff, hasn't been amazing anyway. Like, I didn't expect him to do great PVTs. I mean, I guess that's sort of what you get for being a race picker, but yeah, so, I mean, I think that kind of just shows, you know, Terra had way more experience there.
It just disappoints me a little bit that he seemed to have nothing up his sleeve apart from some kind of proxy cheese, then weird pylons around the map, and completely standard play from 4 years ago. Yeah. That was all he seemed to have, which is really not enough at this level to be competing.
What happened to the Rams from Game 1 versus Eonzerg?
I'm wondering that myself.
If he would just play like that every game, he'd be unstoppable.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
But he only played one game like that.
Yeah, which is very strange. It was enough to confuse us, but not much more than that. Damn. Well, at least the Terran went through, so
hey!
Happy. Hey! A true Terran as well.
Sorry? Yes, indeed. Yeah. And that means, ladies and gentlemen, our round of 8 is complete. Let's see if Wikipedia is updated, and then I will be able to display it on the screen for you fine folks. Indeed it is. I'm sure Muka was right on the ball with that. So, let me bring this up. Does that work?
Sure.
Alright, that sort of works. Yeah, let's make it bigger. Hey! Alright, hopefully that's all nice and visible. So, as you can see, in the quarterfinals for the first match, Zeke versus Terror, then Dragon versus Julia, Busy versus Technics, and Eonzerg versus True Touch. Very awesome indeed.
That is a tasty lineup. This is just a really, really filtered down lineup of players right now. I feel bad for Terra pulling out Zeke, but you know, he's got to do his damnedest and do whatever he can. Dragon Julia, I feel like that's a really even matchup actually. Yeah. Julia, I wasn't 100% convinced by him, but you know, he got through second place, but he did get through. And Dragon is one of those players who I always think is kind of on the edge, but as you say, recently he's been practicing a lot, and he can do it against Julia, who has performed well in recent seasons. Busy Technics, that is an exciting matchup. I can't wait for that.
I am so pumped for that, Elegant. I can't even tell you. Busy Technics, oh man. The only thing better than that would be if Busy can beat Technics and then play against Zeke. Because the thing is, I'm pretty sure if Busy can beat Technics, he'll have what it takes to beat the winner of Eon's or True Touch. Yeah. And then he'll have a pretty solid shot of making the finals against Ziki, and then he'll have an only TVZ path. So he only has to prepare one matchup, and he's very good at that matchup. So I just hope he, practices and can show us good games.
Oh God, I hope the same. If he practices, he can do this. If not, then he's gonna have trouble because these are some damn good players right now. Technics, Eon Zerg, True Touch. There are no easy matchups.
This bottom half of the bracket is just ridiculously stacked. It is so sick.
Terrifying, man. Terrifying.
But hey, you never know, man. You never know. Could you imagine if like Dragon makes it to the finals through that top half? That'd be cool.
That would be just a what moment. That would be just so confusing.
Yeah. Dragon just busting out the ghostiness. Anyway, so we'll be casting all of these matches next weekend. Saturday will be the first 2 matches, and then Sunday will be the second 2. So you guys won't have to wait around for too long to see all of those. It'll be very, very exciting. Another whole weekend of Brood War casting. Very, very fun. Now, these are going to be best of 5 matches. It is now the single elimination bracket. So, our map pool is going to stay the same. I'm not actually 100% sure of the map order. It's something like subject to change, little asterisk, subject to change. Polaris Rhapsody, Aztec, Andromeda. Sorry, no, destinations first. I messed up. Destination, Aztec, Andromeda, Polaris Rhapsody, and Fighting Spirit. It'll be something like that, but it will be confirmed in an announcement post, and I'm sure Tupacalypse will confirm it with the players beforehand.
Subject to change means that
there is still room.
There is still room to get on your high horse and complain like hell in the forums if you don't like the map. Yeah. So go forth, forum warriors. Complain about
please do. I love ignoring complaints. It's so much fun. So please complain a lot.
We all love it. We all love the kind of power kick it gives us. We're power hungry people.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. So before we call it a day, huge thanks to our sponsors, Razer and Twitch TV. As always, they're super duper awesome. And of course, a huge thanks to TeamLiquid.net. Thanks, everybody. Thanks all around. Everybody's awesome.
Apart from somebody.
He who shall not be named.
But thank you, viewers. And we hope you enjoyed today's Brood War action. If only there had been a bit more of it. But yeah, make sure you come back next week. And also, has to be said, make sure you head on over to Elmaster's stream where the Swedish Brood War Initiative Team League is being streamed as we speak.
That is correct. If you don't know what that is, it is the essentially the pro league of the foreign scene at the moment. All of the high-level players, many of whom you've just seen play today, will be participating in that. Terrorist team, Lag-Free, of course, Peruvian team. I don't know if they're playing today, but yeah, there's some good games going on over there. So I hope you guys check it out. And I think that is all. Anything else, Elegant?
No, that's everything for me.
All right, great. So with that, I hope to see you guys all next weekend. Have a good night.
See you later.